This is new hotness provided by Donovan Ledger and his headlight restoration kit. Works really well. This is what they used to look like. Crusty. New hotness.
Morning, Cricket.
Good morning. It's Monday. So I missed the car show. I know a few people were asking about the car show. Clean Culture, what was it?
Yeah, Clean Culture.
Clean Culture. I didn't go. I went to the barbecue that we had here on Sunday and got these sweet Hot Boy Heat Wave glasses.
Oh, nice. Well, good thing for you, I got a montage of Clean Culture and the barbecue. So
Show me the goods.
let's go.
Drift HQ, I film all the videos. I
No, you
edit
don't,
them.
Jimmy.
Media guy for Drift HQ now.
It's
I'm
James.
James now. Yeah.
We figured it out.
What'd you figure out?
So after removing a bunch of stuff from the forward portion of the harness, inside the engine bay and stuff that we don't need, like the evap purge solenoid and like the stuff that controlled the stock radiator fans, for some reason our display didn't work. Display would not turn on. We got everything working, the constant power and switch power and all that stuff we need for our ECU Masters, but for some reason we could not get this to fire up. And I finally found my missing ground.
Missing ground. It's always the ground.
So no, we were searching for power left and right because I couldn't find any power inside the circuit. So then I found this little guy over here. Look at it.
Just look at it.
And now we're back. So now we can actually work on making all of these stock gauges work with our little Dakota digital conversion box. It's going to be beautiful.
Now I get to put the whole dash back together.
Yeah, now we got to put all that back together. Well, let me ground this first in a nice secret squirrel location and then we'll get at it.
I wish I had autofocus, but the new camera I'm getting does.
Yeah.
So you'll see us in HD.
I got you guys a camera.
Oh, yes.
Kirk, you got a little smudge on there.
Yeah, I can't see it. Where is it? Right here? Right here?
Beautiful. Shout out whoever made those signs for you.
Yeah, love the beans, Tammy. Could be bigger, though. It's very underwhelming on that huge wall.
You're very underwhelming.
I got a new camera. Films your beautiful
Lumex
face.
GX6.
GH6.
Yeah, see, go back to the comment where they asked if I could read. No, I cannot.
All the welds and all the fabrication and all the mechanics over there.
Can you make my face look better?
I think it has a face filter. Oh my god.
Wow. She gorgeous, very light too.
All right. Thanks, Cricket.
Welcome. Pressure testing.
Yeah, so we run a 19 PSI cap or like 1.3 bar on this thing, so we just crank it up to the pressure that the cap's supposed to be at. And then we watch it for a little bit and see if we have any drop in pressure. These caps always leak just a little bit, but you know, as long as we keep it within the ballpark.
It's staying right there at 19.
So what is on the list before startup and all that?
So we got our power steering stuff all sorted out. We still got to put fluids in it, oil, water, power steering fluid. And then Jimmy's going to get on there and play with it a little bit and see if we can get this thing fired up. Pretty basic startup map because it's the internal map sensor on the ECU Masters. All of our vacuum lines are routed. There's no blow-off valve. So we're going to get all the cool compressor surge noises. Once it's actually running and idling, I'm really curious to see what the exhaust sounds like. And that guy right there.
Am I gonna be the magic maker?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna find out on next episode of Drift HQ.
No, it's gonna be this episode.
Is it this episode?
It's this episode.
Hey, new camera?
New camera.
Do you think they could tell?
I don't know.
If you didn't know, this camera add a little weight?
Yeah.
And skinny on here or what?
Yeah, you're thick right now.
You think so? All right, what's the deal? Give me the update. You're bleeding coolant first, like
No,
that?
we're just pressure testing the cooling system before I put water in it so I don't make a huge mess.
Nice.
Good call.
I think Crick has a pump like that at home.
He does.
It's a little bigger though.
The pump's a little bigger and this end's a little bit smaller.
Yeah. Yeah. I need more pressure.
But yeah, then we're gonna put some E85 in it.
Oh, we're going
pressure test our
straight to
fuels.
ethanol.
Oh yeah,
Are we doing flex fuel on it, or are we just like going straight ethanol?
just
Sensor?
straight ethanol. It has a flex fuel sensor just for like ethanol content, like just to kind of monitor that. But
You know, it's
it is a
enough.
higher compression RB, so
What is it? Is it 10 to 1 or
it's 10.5 to 1, I think.
it's
so
10 and a half to 1?
Yeah, so E85 is definitely a must. And then that G30.
This thing
we're-
would not last on pump.
Adam
gas,
told me
so.
to put a 14 PSI spring in it, and I was like, okay, because he said he wanted to keep it around 450. I was like, 14 PSI.
I know. I'm talking to Adam. I'm like.
450.
He goes, yeah. I've heard of them making 5, so I want to make 450. I was like, maybe we should aim closer to the 4 mark.
That's what I said. I was like, let me put a 7 PSI spring in the gate and see what happens first. And
No,
then we
LZ
can
likes
turn it up.
LZ likes to get after it. That's for sure.
Yeah, he likes to live dangerously.
Oh yeah.
One for my homies. It's dropping temperature now.
Oh yeah, it just had fire on it.
Don't see it again. Bring it
So
back
we
up.
were testing to see if our correct lead was for our stock temp gauge on here. So I did. I put the lighter to this bad boy, got her nice and warm,
Then ground her out to the engine.
and
See
then
it
ground
shows
it
low.
to the chassis.
As soon as it grounds.
And then we got temperature working. So now we just got to find a place on the engine to pop this bad boy so our stock temp gauge works again. I'm going to put it right in the bottom of our swirl pot because this is the cap on the top and the bottom of this thing is made out of some pretty thick aluminum. So that way we don't have to mess with anything. We don't have to mess with the plasma man manifold at all. So that'd be nice.
So temperature from the bottom of the swirly pot.
Yeah, I mean, OEM temp sensor's right at the upper water neck, and this is measuring right at the outlet of the upper water neck, so it should be pretty damn accurate.
I'm back again.
This time for the wing?
Yeah, we gotta try to clean some debris that got inside the spoiler and then try to make it fit same as I did on the all around the body kit.
In a nutshell, it doesn't fit very well. So Josh is gonna put some extra sauce and love on top of it and make it mold to the car. Because if you look at the C4s, this back bumper actually has a bow to it from the factory. So it doesn't sit flat 100% on there. Plus the little mounts that come with the kit, they're really hard to make work. So Josh is gonna take and end up fiberglassing studs into it because we already drilled our holes. So those are set. So he's gonna fiberglass in studs and then fiberglass over top of them. So just the stud is sticking through. That way we can actually crank it down really hard because we don't know how fast Adam's gonna go in it. The last thing we want is the wing falling off at 100 miles an hour. So Josh is gonna make sure that doesn't happen. Put it in his able hands. That way it don't fall on us. As long as the nuts don't come loose. Yeah, you lost them, bud.
No, you didn't. They're right there.
No, they're still in there. He's fucking with you. If that rubber thing wasn't in there, you would have lost
You
it.
just went through here.
It's
like
a little
something.
pocket. Yeah, it's a
Nope.
hidden cubby.
Hey, Cricket, explain the baby feet.
Oh, baby feet. It's a strong baby. This baby can jump up on top of cars. Or you can just take and put your hand right here, do that, and then do a big one.
God, we live in the times we live in.
There's a baby walking all over the car. Little baby toes. Dusty.
All right, Joshua. So the people were asking what the heck is going on here, and I was trying to, you know, keep your job security going, but apparently this is common information and people want to know.
All right, so this right here, the paste is like a mix of fiberglass, but all powder, mixed with some resin, so you ended up getting that paste. And then I just put some dry chop, which is fiberglass, you know, hairs, to make it more stronger, so we can, you know, don't lose the wing. Then along, you know, we mix it with hardener.
So pretty much you're just making this fiberglass paste that turns into the hard fiberglass, and you fill in all the cracks and holes, and that's what was in between the cracks and seams.
Exactly.
Very easy way to just, you know, mold it in and then add some Bondo afterwards, and it's nice and precise.
Basically, yeah.
Nice. All right, now people know. So it smells like gas.
Yep. So we did our fuel pressure test. We had a small leak at the front of the fuel filter, as comes when you. Hey, shut up!
Hey, whoa, what the?
Sorry. So we had a small leak at the fuel pressure or at the fuel filter. So I mean, it happens. We put the whole car together, you know, piece by piece as parts started showing up. So certain things get forgotten. So that's why we do all the testing before we actually fire the car up. Set our base fuel pressure at 50 psx. That's as low as our regulator let us go. We're running a rising rate regulator, so raised fuel pressure with boost. We got power steering fluid in it. We got water in it. And now, yeah, we put oil in the diff, which we almost forgot about, which is kind of important. Our drive shaft is ordered, and dyno day is on Saturday. So we're going to try and slap together a base map today and see if we can actually hear this thing start.
So we got oil.
We got oil. We got VR1. And if you tilt it just the right way, you won't get any of that burbly stuff and it spit everywhere. So you actually don't need one of those.
Funnels?
I don't even know what they're called because I don't use them.
Wow. I have no idea what this is. Chris, how's the timing light work? What's it do? It just like flashes light and then tells you timing based on things?
Yep, so there's timing marks on the front of the motor as well as there's timing marks on the crank pulley. So that'll tell you when the motor's at top dead center. So since these are coil unplugged, we run this little extendo plug wire here onto our spark plug, pull our coil out, and then stick that in the end of our coil pack. So then we put our pickup there from the timing light onto this. So every time our number one spark plug fires, it flashes a light. Then we can look at our crank pulley and we can see exactly where our timing is. So we have to adjust this guy from PRP to make sure our base timing is actually set correctly, and then we can do it with that.
What's timing?
I hate you. Timing is at what point in the piston stroke versus top dead center the spark plug actually ignites. So if you have like 10 degrees before top dead center, with the crank rotating 10 degrees before the piston hits the top of its stroke, it'll ignite the The more you know.
How much science do we talk? We talk a lot of science. They explain a lot of stuff, don't they? Cricket's a smart
Yeah,
guy.
exactly.
It's Chris. These guys are gangsters. All right, so we have a blank ECU, right? So we have to set it up to know that we're using RB25, which means we'll put in the engine displacement, the firing order, we'll set up all the trigger settings, and the injector size. We basically have to tell the ECU everything that we have right here. And then we put some numbers in and hope everything works. That easy, right? So it's more tedious work than anything, but the hardest part is first making sure you have a clean RPM signal. That is the foundation of everything. So we're gonna start with that since we have the PRP kit and it's not just factory settings. All right, so we're just gonna test for outputs because we don't have the list for them. So output 1, some chunky fans in this thing. That's good. We need it. Iron block RBs. Okay, that's good news. 1. Now, what do you think the fuel pump is? Let's try aux 2. Is that fuel? Any leaks?
No, we already checked earlier. I jumped
Love
the relay.
that. All right, we got fuel. I mean, for like you guys are pretty well off for first startup. I've done a lot of first startups where there's not a lot.
And I got the stock coolant temp gauge working too.
Love that. So with a fuel pump, that's like the only one output we need to actually start this thing. So remember that's on aux 2, all right? All right, let's search for these trigger settings. So the big thing we need to do is actually sync ignition timing. So what's being commanded by the ECU is actually happening on the crank, right? Because ignition timing is very important, especially on an NET setup like this, where it's gonna be kind of on the edge. So if I could just find the oscilloscope on here, crank it. Does it crank? Have you tried to crank it before?
Yeah, it cranks the starter just on shitty.
Crank it. Cool, we have a RPM signal. It's great.
It's great.
It's nice when you just have the trigger settings on hand. Love that. All right, so now we have to use a timing light to get ignition timing somewhat close enough to start, because when it's only cranking, it's not really high enough RPMs to get a really accurate reading.
Yeah.
If you have time, I would suggest taking all the plugs out when you do this, because the engine will crank a lot faster, and it puts a lot less load on the engine and the starter. So just note to self for future. Pull your plugs out when you're doing this. All right, crank this up. Where's Cricket?
Yeah, where's Cricket? Go ahead.
Cricket. I don't want to keep walking back and forth. Cricket! He's out sneaking a cold one in the back. So essentially we were like kind of changing to position of the pickup, right? So we got to kind of hunt for it until we could see the marking on the crank on the marking on the cover. I guess I'm really bad at explaining things. We're looking for base on
You
it.
know what's pretty cool is this sounds like a small block Chevy starter. It definitely sounds like a small block Chevy. People want to be so thrown off when you hear it cranking. Like, oh, okay.
Until they hear that G series purr.
Yeah.
That's close enough. We could probably start it.
Yeah, I think you're at like 20 degrees on top dead.
Let it go. It doesn't even sound like it wants to start, so let's just do a coil pack output test real quick. So we're gonna basically test all the coils, make sure they're all firing, because it sounds like it's not getting something.
So you
Because
wanna pull the
usually
coils
get a
and
little pop and bang, you know, of some set. You know, you could hear it when an engine like is trying to start. No, you don't have to. We could probably hear it. Ignition 1.
Yep, that's fine.
3.
Clicking it.
We did 4. I'm gonna go to 5. Injectors are always really loud. Injector 2. This is definitely something, if you make your own harness, you should test all the outputs first.
Yeah.
All right, let's give that a shot. Ready? Cool, let's do it. All right, hold up. We're not getting something.
Not even a hiccup.
Not even a hiccup. So we have clean RPM, we have lock timing, we have ignition, we have fuel,
We have fuel pressure, we have injector pulse.
but something is not firing.
Way to bring a whole truck.
Run a whole truck with 2 batteries and a running motor, so this will power it.
It's really fast.
Yeah, it's sick.
Where we need to be.
All right, so we noticed that VTC was actually stuck on during cranking conditions, which shouldn't be the case. So engine usually would not like that, but we'll see. We adjusted a few small things and see if it does the trick for us. All right, that's good. That's what we want.
Hey, we got something there.
That's what we want. Okay, so we were just.
Sounds like, hey, noises.
Position it. Yeah. Gotta get.
Hold that?
Yes, sir.
Starter wire.
Yeah, like I said before, when we get all these parts and we kind of work as we go, certain things get left loose here and there. So, you know, this is why we test things. Yeah.
You wouldn't want that to fucking do it like that either. All right, so the trigger pickup for the cam angle sensor was actually mechanically off. So, and we're resetting it, and we'll be good, hopefully good to go. So, big PRP, guys.
This dude runs an AMV1. He doesn't know anything about this shit.
Oh my god, this guy. I'm the fucking one who's fixing this shit right now.
Oh, you're the one fixing this shit?
Did you notice what shit?
You're the only one that's ever installed one
Yeah,
of
you're
these
the
kits
only one
before.
that's worked with
Thank
it.
you. So I'm not the fucking only guy here. Let me know.
So I just want to confirm the big...
This is what the YouTubes wanted. They wanted some cross between Adam's people and our people.
Not by choice, but they get it.
And we got Jimmy.
Basically, Sean just being grumpy as hell. Look at him.
He's always grumpy. Look at the book.
He's like a mix
I
between
saved y'all, bitch
the
asses. If this
Grinch,
thing starts, I get to talk so much
Oscar
shit.
the Grouch.
So you know how many beeps I'm about to put? Your whole language is just inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
Sean, I'd also like to point out that I asked you how to put this cam sensor on.
Said.
And he
I don't
said...
fucking know. Then I did it my damn self.
Literally, Sean's whole dialogue. I beep, this beep, this beep.
God, if that would have went down the fucking thing.
Beep.
What? I didn't take
Get it
it.
right.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it up to you.
Liability on
Yeah.
Sean. Just so we can sit here. We'll do it together.
Oh God, Jimmy, you be torquing shit.
Someone needs to like hug him or something, dude. It's alright, let it out. You can cry, dude. You're in safe company. You don't gotta be so tough, Doug. Let it out.
Oh God.
There we go. Look at that smile. Yeah.
So cute.
Look at you, don't smile.
Feel good moments with Drift HQ.
Oh my God, ain't that some shit?
We're about
Look
like
at
two or
you.
three.
That,
Just
Joel.
turn the fuel
Look
pump
at
on
you.
and let it start.
Listen to Sean. He's a big RB guy.
So like we said, we were off actually on the cam gear was actually off. It explains why we were shooting the crank correctly, but we actually weren't producing anything. So I'm so happy this has a full exhaust because we never get to start cars for the first
Right.
time with a full exhaust.
So quiet. Any of this stuff.
And then yes, start her up. Oh, the starter, don't die on us now.
Nothing? No.
Hit it.
2 degrees out.
She's quiet. I like it.
Were you not filming? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, we're good. It sounds great. It sounds awesome.
Take out 3 degrees.
Check out
Press enter. Press enter.
Oh.
Add 5 degrees.
What we got?
That's like 2 degrees.
Add or take away?
Add it.
That's what I wanted to hear. I even feel it.
Better eat, baby.
That's all I wanted. A little. That's all I wanted.
Surge.
Sounds like an RB coming from a C4 Corvette.
Yeah,
Love
sounds
to hear
about
it.
right.
That's what you want to hear.
She runs, boys. She runs.
High five.
You know what,
High
Cricket?
five, fruit face.
You better go catch it.
And on that note, we'll end the video.
You're done.
You're officially fired, then rehired. So she's live. Like, comment, subscribe. Watch us do some donuts or something in this thing. It's coming.
But he said, I'm hungry.
Just like stock. It sounds so cool.
You can really hear that forklift starter.
I know.
But it's what's cool is it makes it sound like a small block Chevy.
Yeah.
They'll have that like really washy starter.
I'm like pumped that the factory exhaust works. It kind of sounds a little bit like an LS at idle, not gonna lie. A little bit of that like deep drone. I dig it though. This is gonna be so cool. It's pretty rad. It'd be so good having the turbo right here too.
Right in front of your face.
I know.
Oh, she's gonna turn some heads, that's for sure.
I love the roof. Man, I'm so excited. Home stretch, baby.
Home stretch.